Guys, look at Bitmain. They're falling behind and becoming the worst ASIC manufacturer. These guys are next in line with Gold Shell. Are they taking notes? What is going on here? Bitmain, you're failing us. What's going on, guys? Welcome, Rabid here, and let's take a look at Bitmain's latest Ethash ASIC, also ETC hash. This is for, actually, I don't even know what all Bitmain can mine. As you know, they limit their miners to coins based on things, so it might not even be able to mine all the Ethash coins. We don't know, but the point here is no one should buy this miner. It literally sucks and it's way overpriced, which is pretty much coming out of Gold Shell's handbook, where you make the least efficient miner, charge the most amount per hash rate, and hope people buy it. So let's take a look at this. Obviously, if you have coupons, I'm also basing this off no coupons, which is $7,200, because most of us don't have any coupons. This is for all the third parties out there who've been, ordering all their miners, so they're getting it for a lot cheaper, and then they resale it and so on. So regardless, we're basing this off 7,200 because I know I sure as hell don't have a coupon, and I know most of you guys don't have coupons either. Now, some of you do. I do know a few of you that do order from here and have coupons, but keep in mind, most people do not. Now, look at the spot sale of the Antminer E11. This is 9 gigahash or 9,000 megahash at 2,340 watts, 0.26 joules per minute. Guys, these are the worst numbers out of all the new Ethash miners that are coming. Let's take a look at them. All right, guys, so I slapped a spreadsheet together for the new gen Ethash miners. And here we have the Bitmain E11, the hash rate, 9 gigahash or 9,000 megahash. We just seen the power, 2,340 watts. That is an efficiency of 3.846 megahash per watt of power that you're using. And it's interesting to see Bitmain is usually never in red, but in this case, they are in red. The worst efficient miner. We also got a price tag of $7,200, and the price per megahash is 80 cents. Now, moving in, look at the Apollo. Now, the V2H and the V2X, these are going to be very, very popular miners, especially for home miners, because one, they're not as expensive as the big boys. They are silent and quiet, which is the same thing, silent and quiet, but that's what home miners like. But let's take a look at the Apollo V2H. This is 3.4 gigahash, 3,400 megahash at only 475 watts, guys. That means 3 of these is more hash rate than Bitmain, and it's still coming in at like half the power. Insane. We have an efficiency megahash per watt here of 7.15 megahash per 1 watt of power. This thing is over double the efficiency of Bitmain, and it's coming in at $3,109. And remember, next bear cycle, this bull run's going to end soon. ETC, Octa.Space, all these Ethash coins are going to pump, then they're going to die, and we're going to be mining through a bear market. In a bear market, you need the most efficient miners out there because you're not going to be able to compete for anyone. Anyone thinking you're going to be mining ETC on a GPU, you are dead wrong. Look at these hash rates. A GPU uses something like, I don't know what, anywhere from 130 for a 3070 upwards to a 4090 of maybe 180 to 200 and some watts. This thing is doing 1.2 gigahash at 165 watts here on the Apollo V2X, which we'll look at in a minute. And we're moving on to it actually right now, I guess. So we have the Apollo V2X here at 1.2 gigahash, 1200 megahash versus the GPU. 3070 is what, 61 megahash, 125 to 130 watts, depending on the brand and AIB. And we can see here 165 watts for 1.2 gigahash, 7.272, which is even slightly more efficient than the V2H here, and that's coming in at $1,399, the cheapest of all the next gen miners here. That is a little more expensive though in price per megahash at $1.16, but I do think because of the lower price tag and slightly higher efficiency and using hardly any power at all, you're not even going to notice this thing on, especially mining in a bear market, that this is probably going to be the most popular miner out there is the V2X from Apollo coming in here, even though it's slightly more in the price per mega hash here. I think because it hardly uses any power or anything and is getting pretty great efficiencies, that this is probably going to be the most popular out of the next gen Ethash miners. Now we got the Apollo V2. It's interesting trend here. As Apollo goes up to the bigger hash miners, they also become more expensive and less efficient, which is kind of weird, but you know, whatever. This is good for home miners because the lower models are cheaper and more efficient. But we have 10 gigahash or 10,000 mega hash here. So straight comparison, an extra gigahash or 1,000 mega hash over Bitmain's E11. And this is coming in at 1,500 watts, you know, freaking almost half the power here. Not quite, but almost here. And that is an efficiency mega hash per watt of 6.66, which is usually what Bitmain's miners for script and everything usually come in at 6.66. If you look at the numbers, we did it previously on other miners, that is their efficiency. But they always seem to fail when it comes to Ethash. The E9 Pro is no exception. That is another failed miner. They snagged a few people to buy them up because they actually priced them lower. But in this case, they're doing none of the above. I don't know what's happening here. Now we have almost $12,000 here for the Apollo, $11,999, which is our most expensive miner, as well as our most expensive per mega hash of $1.19 per mega hash to equal this miner. Now here is the king of miners. That is, I'm not sure a release date or anything. I'm sure we'll get something after mining disrupt goes through in the next couple months here. But we have the Jazz miner X44Q. This is 7.8 gigahash, 7,800 mega hash at 780 watts. That is insane. And as we know anything about the Q version of Jazz miners, another extremely quiet miner. This has an efficiency mega hash per watt of 10. You're getting 10 mega hash on Ethash or ETC hash per 1 watt of power. That is insane. This is coming in, you know, more expensive than the others, which is why I say it might not sell as well. But then again, this is the freaking best miner that is set to release here soon at $5,599. It also works out to be the cheapest per mega hash based currently on Jingle mining prices. Now, depending when any of these do release, then, you know, actually Bitmain, they did announce that this one is what? Sales start on January 20th this month, shipping 7 working days after fully paid. So these are shipping right away here, and we still don't know. The other ones are just like coming soon and coming to the Apollo V2 here. Let's just go back and look at this. Let's take a look at the most popular one. That's this one, the V2X right here. And I'll just show you the numbers, what they're displaying here. Like, these are almost too good to be freaking true. And I will have links to everything down in the description. Check my website to all the various manufacturers, including Crypto Miner Bros, Apollo themselves, and so on. If you're looking to try to pre-order or order these things, I'd be very careful on pre-orders because everything could be subject to change in terms of price as well as hash rates and power. But this is everything that's posted right now. We can see hash rate 1200, 1.2 gigahash or 1200 mega hash, and the power consumption 165 watts plus minus 10%. You know, I'm happy if this goes up 10, even if this is 190, 200 watts, that's still pretty insane efficiency. If it's on par with 165 watts, that's okay. Now, a sad thing here is actually the memory is still pretty low on the Apollos. This is still only 6 gigabytes with working at 5.8. That means once you start getting to about 5.8 in DAG sizes, these things are going to start losing hash rate, which is an issue a lot of people are seeing when it comes to, I can't remember that one Ethash coin. People are wondering, well, how come my hash rate sucks in some of the X4s and stuff like that? It's because the memory is too low. So this doesn't, there's still no upgrade major on memory here. I just want to come back and have a quick peek at, you know, what's the V2H memory looking like? Are they all 6? Yeah, that's 6 also. And then the big boy from my Apollo is sitting at 6 as well. Does this have a memory on here? Let's see. I don't see a memory on the E11. I'm just going to have another look to see what we got here. Oh, wow. So the E11 actually has less memory than the Apollos at 5.6, or the Apollos are coming in at 5.8 working and 6 gigabytes total. So this is even less memory than the Apollos, coming in quite a bit more expensive as well. And as for the Jazz miners, I'm not sure what their memory is. I don't see anything posted on the Jingle Mining website here. All right, just to give you an idea how long 6 gigabytes and stuff will last, in theory 5.8 we do see ETF and FW. This is the coin, I guess people were wondering about how come my hash rate is lower. This is the reason, because you don't have enough memory on your ASICs. But we can see 6 GB has already passed on FW. So depending on the amount that you have, you're seeing reduced hash rates because it's not able to load the entire DAG file, and maybe it's taking longer to load it as well. But that is the issue that's happening there. If you're having that issue and you've been curious, because I know I have been asked that in the past, but it looks like 6 GB has already passed on FW and ETF. Moving on, we have 2025 is happening for what is this? FF. Whatever that is. We have Quirk Chain here is happening April of this year. We don't have to worry about any other ones here until June of 2030. 2027 here, 2027. Oh, Raven, we don't care about that. We don't care. But we only want the Ethash coins here, so I shouldn't be rambling off all of them. Octa.Space, you're good till 2032 when it comes under here to 6 GB, so no worries in that aspect of things. And what other Ethash coins do we have here? That's about it. So, for the most part, it looks like FW, none of these miners are going to be able to mine FW at all, or ETF. But when it comes to all the other coins, you still have a few years happening here. At ETC, prime example, 2032 here. Then we saw Octa.Space is happening till 2030 something as well. Or what was it, 2027? Where I just double check that. Yeah, 2032. So you're good in that aspect, but again, FW and stuff will fail, and you can't even mine those with the brand new miner. All right, guys, so that pretty much is about wrapping up this video. Just a quick announcement here, but Bitmain seems to be failing. They've always failed on the Ethash miner. So I'd highly urge everyone, you do not want to buy this miner. This is the worst miner out there. Just because Bitmain's stamp is on it, doesn't mean it's good. This is bad. This is a gold shell miner. If this was gold shell, it'd be right up their alley, and this is what we would expect, but not from Bitmain. They are failing us miserably. And it also sounds like they maybe become a failure moving forward, because when some, AKA secret script miners should be releasing sometime this year as well, Bitmain can't touch those either. And some of these companies are looking into Bitcoin as well. And if they are doing what they're doing with Ethash and other coins, then Bitmain won't be able to touch them as well. Yeah, they're the Mac Daddy King right now on Bitcoin and everything else, but it looks like they may start falling behind. So it's going to be an interesting, especially this bear market. There's going to be some fighting going back and forth, and things like that moving forward when that bear does kick in. But things are ahead, and we're seeing Bitmain start to fail when it comes to Ethash, guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the situation and which one of these miners looks like the best for you. Again, I think this one right here is probably going to be one of the most popular Ethash miners of this generation coming, the V2X, because it is the cheapest, it's the least amount of power, and you're not even going to notice this thing running. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Links in the description if you're looking for any of these. Rabid out.